Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 470. My name's Aftersun. With me today we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
This week on the show, we'll be taking a look at Aftersun, which is available now on VOD platforms. We'll also be going over someone watching on the watch list and new releases in theaters, VOD and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. New Saved by the 90s is going to be out pretty soon. We're going to be recording it this week. We're going to be doing dog movies. And I gotta say, right before we recorded this show, I just got done watching Air Bud for the first time.
For the first time, Air Bud.
Yeah, never saw Air Bud. Did you? Have you seen Air Bud?
No, I've never seen Air Bud.
Yeah, it was we missed the cutoff for Air Bud. Yeah. I think we were like 13 when that movie came out, so certainly missed the cutoff for it.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. After seeing it, I'm glad that we missed the cutoff for Air Bud. I'm sure that our parents are glad too. They didn't have to, because you know when you're a kid, you just watch the same like two movies over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. So does the Air Bud, does Kenny ball?
You know, it's weird because they don't put him in the game until the very final scene in the movie. So it's kind of like, not really, it's Air Bud, but there's not a lot of Air Budding going on. It's mostly just the kid playing basketball. Yeah. And he's like, wants to see this dumb little kid playing basketball. You want to see Air Bud.
Yeah, and Air Bud's a golden retriever, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them.
Okay.
I don't like golden retrievers.
You know,
they irritate me. They're dumb dogs.
I have a little bit of a confession to make. I don't like them either. And so,
I don't like them.
I don't either.
Like it. I don't know what it is. I just see them and I'm like, I don't like you.
I find them to be too generic. That's my problem. When you say dog, when you just say dog, I feel like the golden retriever is like the most generic dog breed that just pops into your head. You know?
It's like a default. It's like a placeholder.
Yeah, like when you every time you look at like, you know, children's books or whatever, just anything that just involves generic dog, it's always like a golden retriever.
Yeah.
They're just not interesting.
Just fuck them. Got no personality.
To be clear, I love all dogs, regardless of breed, but there are some breeds that
I'll still pet them.
Yeah, of course.
Who's a good boy, love you. But it's like it's a mouth breather of a dog.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. Except Air Bud can play basketball and apparently other sports in addition to basketball as well.
Oh yeah, soccer, volleyball, baseball, football. I like how the baseball one incorporates a raccoon. I might have to watch that one. Because it has a raccoon. Come on, dude.
There are like, I think there's like 5 proper Air Bud movies, and then the like Air Bud extended universe has like 14 or 15. Because after the first few Air Buds, they spun it off into like Air Buddies, which are like the puppies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it on Saved by the 90s this month. So stay tuned for that. With that, I think we can kind of do a sharp 180 here and talk about Aftersun. I have a synopsis here. Sophie reflects on the shared joy and private melancholy of a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier. Memories, real and imagined, fill the gaps between as she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't. This is written and directed by Charlotte Wells. I'm not going to bury the lead here. This is one that when we did our year-end top 10s, I said that this is one that I missed, that I wanted to see, that I didn't have a chance to, and I thought that it might have the chance to end up on my top 10. I'll just tell you right now, it definitely would, and I think that would be number 1. Like, I just straight up think that had I seen this before we did our lists, this would have been my number 1 movie of the year. I was absolutely floored by this. I loved every moment of it. and I just thought it was absolutely near perfect. Like every aspect of it, like just the level of nuance in this, the storytelling, the cinematography, the music. I think that it was just all so meticulously, lovingly crafted. And I think it's amazing that this is Charlotte Wells' feature debut as well. Like, what a strong debut. I know she made some short films before this, which I haven't seen, but...
Yeah, that was going to be my piggyback right after everything that you were saying. Just going to point out that his feature debut, which is just kind of crazy, really. Because what you're talking about, like every aspect of this is just on point, and it just looks, the whole thing feels like it's done by someone that's been doing this for quite some time. But surprise, they haven't.
It's so wild too. And it's a fictional story as far as I know, but it feels so real and so like lived. Like the moments.
There's got to be some aspects to it. If not, like that's even more impressive. If you're able to conjure those types of feelings and present it in that way without having those lived experiences, like that's insane.
Yeah. I loved the storytelling in this. In a lot of ways, it almost plays like a coming of age story, but at the same time, it is like the synopsis says. It's the main character as she's remembering this vacation she had with her father, and it's one of those movies where the whole time you're just expecting something horrible to happen, but it's not a movie that's designed to do that. So I feel like it in some ways circumvents your expectations, but I think that it does so in a really effective way. Like it wouldn't be as effective if it turned out like if something crazy happened at the end. Like it wouldn't I think have as big of an impact than
I think it does it. I think it does a great job of like alluding to things and keeping it in the point of view of the young girl, as to like us, the viewer, seeing things. We can kind of piece it together. Like, oh, okay, this guy probably has some,
and that
definitely like addiction issues or something. And and that she's not 100% seeing it because she's a kid.
And that was one of the things. That was one of the things I love the most about this movie is that you have this. It from time to time, it'll cut away from young Sophie, and this takes place in the early 2000s, to current day Sophie, where she's turning 31. She's the same age as her father when they were on this vacation, and she's watching the home movie footage that they took during this vacation. She's remembering the pieces, the elements of this vacation, but she wasn't there for all of it. As far as like, she wasn't there with her dad for all of it. So those missing pieces, she's just kind of inferring what happened. So like what we're seeing as the audience, like we can't be entirely sure that that's even how this all played out. We're just seeing what she's imagining happened. It's sort of like these false memories. And from that, like you said, we're able to put the pieces together about her father's kind of personal like issues that he was having, be it, mental issues, addiction, whatever it was that was sort of plaguing him. She never saw that as a child, but then when she revisits it, she kind of fills in the blanks. And I thought that was amazing. Like, I thought that was such pitch perfect storytelling.
Oh, yeah. And the way that she goes about it, too, in that kind of, oh, man. Like these kind of fleeting moments, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of goes in and out, and it jumps around.
And it's nothing major. Like, there's no major conflicts. There's no major, like, revelations or anything like that. Everything is very subdued. Everything is very nuanced. I mean, Paul Mescal, who plays the dad, Callum, he got nominated for an Oscar for his performance in this movie, which I think is definitely deserved because he's absolutely incredible in this. As is the girl who plays Sophie, Frankie Corio. And so you have this, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, he is a very caring, loving father. So it's not like he's, you know, abusive or neglectful or anything like that. But it's like him trying to, he's dealing with a lot of internal stuff. Like you could always tell that he's always like kind of on the edge, but then he puts on this like facade because he wants to give his daughter a good vacation.
Well, I think also the good way that they go about it is you could tell that like he's trying really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows that he has his issues and he's working on them and he's trying really hard and he's not perfect at it.
Right. And that's the other thing is like you see these little things where he's like clearly trying to get better. He has these like, he does this like meditation stuff and he has like the books and stuff like that. And like I think one great scene is the scene with the carpets when he buys the rug. Like all like, so he's aware of these issues that he's having and he seems to be actively trying to fix it, but it seems to be overcoming him by the end.
Yeah. And I think there was one scene in particular where she gets like all those random people in the bus to sing happy birthday to him, like when he's standing at the top. Kind of gives you a like sort of a insight into his psyche. Like that's happening and the immediate transition is to him sobbing naked in bed because that's like his first thought is like he doesn't deserve any of this.
Another great scene is towards the end, the dance club scene when it's like flashing back and forth between the older Sophie and her father when she's like sort of confronting him, or I don't know if you'd call it confronting or meeting him, or I guess you'd say confronting, but that was a really great scene too at the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak highly enough about this movie. I was just so enthralled by it. Like it's a movie that I think just, it stuck with me to the point where I was just thinking about it days and days later. Like just, I can't stop thinking about this movie, and it's almost the kind of movie that you want to rewatch because I feel like there's a lot of layers to it. There's so many like subtle things with their relationship and with the things that he says and the thing like how she interacts with him and stuff, that it's just, there's just so much here. And that's so impressive when at the end of the day, the story itself is quite simple on the surface.
Oh yeah. No, it's a very subdued movie. Like there's not a ton going on, but there is at the same time. Like on an emotional level, but like from a narrative level, there's not a ton.
No.
And there's the like the technical aspects of this. I did really appreciate all the things that you mentioned: the cinematography, the pacing, editing, music, all that stuff. But then there's also that kind of mixing between the mini DV footage on the TV and the reflection.
Oh man, that scene!
It happened in real time, and then the reflection off of the TV as well.
That scene was really incredible. Like how that was shot, where you're seeing like the multiple reflections and the footage and stuff. Because a big part of this is that older Sophie is watching back this footage. So that's like, you know, she's experiencing this vacation all over again as she's staying in the same place that she did when she was 11. And that scene was just so well shot. Everything looks great. As far as the cinematography goes, it's one of these movies where it does feel dated. Like it feels like it could be the 90s or early 2000s, but it doesn't hammer you over the head with it or anything like that. It does it in a way that you recognize that it is a movie that takes place in the past, but they don't bombard you with pop culture stuff. And the music selections and stuff, I think, are done in a really effective way where it's nostalgic, but it's not doesn't feel tacked on or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I was quite surprised by this one. Honestly, first was early on in, I was just like, really, this is Adam's favorite movie. Would have been the favorite movie from last year. That's surprising. And then also, I think I went into it where there was just so much hype where I was kind of like, yeah, this is going to be fine. And then to find out that, no, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
The hype is kind of real.
Honestly, I wasn't from the beginning, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't loving it at the beginning. I was just like, okay, yeah. Because I didn't really know where it was going or just how big of an impact it would have on me. But as it kept progressing and you get to know the father and the daughter more, and you sort of see where it's going and what it's saying, that's when it really just kind of completely hooked me. I mean, it's weird because it is a very sad movie. It's a devastating movie in a lot of ways, but not maybe how you would think, because it's not like you see the dad die or anything like that. It's all sort of implied things. And I think that in some ways that makes it even more kind of devastating.
Because everything's kind of tinged with that happy, sad, bittersweet type, where almost every moment it's 50-50, where it's really endearing and these beautiful moments, but then the other 50% of it, there's a sadness attached to it.
And yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing too, is a lot of these moments that she's remembering fondly are very just fleeting, dumb little things, like her playing the motorcycle game, and just small things that seem insignificant, but those oftentimes are some of the fondest and strongest memories that we have, are these kind of insignificant moments that at the time really don't mean anything, but then for whatever reason we latch on to those and we look back, and those are some of it's the small moments. And I think that this movie handles that concept in a really incredible way.
Yeah. No, I was surprised.
Also, again, performances across the board, incredible.
Oh yeah.
I like the location, this Turkish resort. Liked all that stuff. Great movie. Loved it. I don't think I have anything else to add. I just implore you to see it. This is a must see for me. It's one of the few movies from 2022 that I would say watch it. Definitely watch it.
Do it.
I was kind of putting it off for a little while because I don't know why, but I expected it to be just really, really sad. So I was kind of trying to get myself in the right mindset to go into it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what I expected, I guess. I mean, it is sad, but in a very different way.
Yeah. It's stealth sad.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like the sadness is the full intent of this movie. It's not, just here, I'm just going to give you sad stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Burned over, just shovel it your way.
It doesn't seem designed to rip your heart out or anything and have you bawling by the end. It's just that the emotion is just a byproduct of what's happening in this. But all right, let's go ahead and give it a score. I'm going to give this one. I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's my second movie of 2022 that had a 5 out of 5, and I'm struggling to really find any major faults with this. So I'm at like, I hesitate to give it a 10, but it's like a strong 9 for me, or a 9.5 even.
Yeah, I'm like at 8.5. It could be a 9. I'm like right there, right on the edge.
And also part of my score with this is just, like I said before, the lasting power of it. The fact that this, I've been thinking about this movie for days after I've seen it, and just like going over it in my head and thinking about like specific scenes, like when they were doing that like mud bath thing, and like just going over every little moment. And that is a very rare thing for me these days.
Yeah, it is. It is nice when that happens. Get one to stick in that brain of yours.
Heck yeah. All right, that's Aftersun. Again, that's on demand right now, so give it a rent. It's I looked it up because I was telling my dad about it, and it's like $3.99. So
$3.99?
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
It's totally worth it. All right, let's move on and talk about some of what we've been watching. I saw a ton of stuff over the because we were off last week. Didn't have anything to cover last week. It was like dead. So, and I was like just getting back into town, so it wasn't. I didn't have a lot of time to watch anything anyway. But I don't know. As a result, I have a ton of stuff, but I'm only going to go over a few things here. Number one, I guess I'll start with Videophobia. This is from Daisuke Miyazaki. This is from 2019. It's a very kind of subdued paranoid thriller about a young woman who has like a one-night stand with this guy, and he secretly films it and posts it online, and she ends up finding it. And at first she like kind of doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal, but as the days and weeks progress, it starts to really begin affecting her, and the film just kind of goes through what this does to her and the psychological turmoil that it causes her. It's I mean, this is it's very lo-fi. Like, there's not a whole lot that goes on here, but I think that it is a pretty incredible movie. It looks gorgeous, shot in black and white. Seems like it might be shot on 16 millimeter. I'm not sure. I couldn't find the technical specifications for this one, but yeah, I liked this quite a lot. It's a bit of a slow burn. It's almost a no burn, really. Okay. But it goes to some interesting places, and I haven't seen any I haven't really seen too many like low budget, like indie kind of art house Japanese movies in quite a while. So this one, I don't know. I guess I was just kind of in the mood for something like this. So I would recommend it. Videophobia. Kevin, I think you'll like this one quite a bit.
I might have to check this out. Never even heard of it. I watched Robert Altman's Images from 1972. Caught this on Tubi. It's on Tubi. This is Susanna York. She plays Catherine. Catherine's just kind of losing her bearings a little bit. She's suffering from schizophrenia. And she's haunted by hallucinations of like past lovers just showing up. And are they real? Are they not real? Who knows? Like, they're just in the house. Next thing you know, boom, pop in the house. So there's a lot of that going on. She's there with like her husband, and then like he'll walk out the front door to go hunting, and then all of a sudden this French guy comes out from the side door, And he's just like, hey, how's it going, Catherine? She's like, what the fuck are you doing here? But that's because she's got schizophrenia. And, it's an okay movie. Like some of it, the way in which it's shot, I mean, it's Altman. So, the filmmaking, the technical aspects of it are pretty good. But if you're the type, and I think you are, as am I, where you're kind of sick and tired of the, is she crazy?
Yeah.
Because this one's like, it's really quick where it's like, is she crazy? She definitely is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just like,
well,
okay.
That's kind of a twist on it, because whenever there's one of those is she crazy movies, she never is crazy.
Yeah.
So it might be kind of refreshing just to have one where it's like, she is. She definitely is.
But even then, it still like doesn't work 100% because like she finally gets sick and tired of the Frenchman. She's like, I want you to leave the house. You need to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I'm not leaving. I'm like a figment of your imagination. So she kills him, right? And then she kills another guy. But when other people come to the house, obviously their bodies aren't there. And then at the end, it's like, oh, she killed all these people. And you're like, I don't know. None of this makes sense. I don't know who she killed, who she didn't kill. I don't know who's still alive and had the opportunity to be killed, or they died years earlier. I don't know. And I don't really want to find out. I'm not really going to look into this further. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Move on with my day.
All right. That's images from Robert Altman. I need to flesh out my Altman filmography.
That's what I'm attempting to do here. But also, I think another thing of it is Susanna York. Not a big fan. Not a fan of her.
Got it. I saw Rollercoaster from 1977. This is directed by James Goldstone. This is one that I've been meaning to watch forever, and I finally was like, you know what? I'm in the mood. Let's do it. Rollercoaster. What this is about is there's a terrorist who's going around to theme parks and putting bombs on roller coasters and blowing them up. And George Siegel plays he's like a safety commission guy. Like he inspects the like different roller coasters, make sure that they're safe. And he's the one who kind of figures out that it's not like, because the first two that happened, they think it's just an accident, like something went wrong. But he like immediately figures out like, oh no, somebody's sabotaging these coasters, man. And so like the FBI kind of pulls him in as like an expert. And then the terrorist guy is like, okay, well, this guy's like figuring me out. So he kind of pulls him in and starts having him doing tasks for him and stuff. And basically one whole giant portion of the movie is just the terrorist telling George Siegel to ride different rides at a theme park, and like him just getting on rides and riding rides. And it was that was kind of an amazing scene.
Incredible.
Yeah, so it's really fun. I enjoyed the 70s theme park thing because this takes place in, I don't know, like 3 or 4 different theme parks. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fun to see these like theme parks in the 70s. The story was pretty entertaining too. It sort of reminded me of like Die Hard 3 or something, where like we know who the guy is like right away, and it's just like him, calling up George Siegel and being like, go here in 10 minutes, get on the coaster, ride it twice. And I don't know, the ending was a little bit whatever. It was fine, the end. I think that they could have maybe made it a little bit more exciting, but overall it's a pretty good time.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah. There's also a great scene, like the first coaster. It was kind of a tense scene because you knew it was going to blow up, but you didn't know when. And like he would wait for like multiple like go arounds, and you're just like, is he going to do it? Is he ever going to do it? And then when he finally does it and the coaster like flies off the track, there's this one scene where like you see one of the carts just land upside down, and it's clearly all like dummies in it, but they just get demolished. It's great.
That's what you would want. That is what you would want.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Manhunt from 1941. Fritz Lang. This is on the Criterion Channel. It's an old black and white movie of this guy named Thorndike. He's a British hunter. I guess like the most famous big game hunter there is. He's vacationing in Bavaria, right? And he just happens to be like working his way through the woods, gets to a cliffside. Boom, what's across the way? Hitler's home. Hitler's outside, just hanging out. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get him in my sights. And then he does like his gun isn't loading. He just clicks. He's like, I gotcha. And then he decides, what if maybe I put a bullet in the gun? So he puts a bullet in. And then, of course, like before he's able to pull the trigger, which he says he wasn't going to, he had to make it feel more real. It was just a friendly game of stalking his prey. But he gets captured, he gets roughed up and everything, but he's somehow able to make it back to London. And the Germans come to London, and it's essentially, manhunt. Hunt this guy down. And it's okay. Like, it starts off really strong. It's really exciting. And some of the, like, cat and mouse chase sequences are pretty good, but, man, there's just a lot of fluff in this movie that just doesn't work for me. Joan Bennett plays I don't know what they were doing with her character, because she's kind of like a love interest, but it doesn't make any sense at all, and it doesn't work. And she has a ridiculous accent, because she's kind of doing like I don't know if it's like a Cockney, like working class girl type thing. It's so bad. And even Walter Pidgeon, who plays Thorndike, like, it's just, the accent work all around from everybody in this movie just doesn't really work. And it has a ridiculous ending where he just like drops it. Like, he signs up for the war, and he's supposed to be, going on this like recon mission. And he's like, fucking, I'm taking my gun and I'm just jumping out of the airplane without anybody knowing. And they're like, somewhere out there, Thorndike is out there and he's going to get our guy Hitler. It's like, no, he's not. He's not. I know how to end it. He doesn't do it.
All right. That sounds kind of fun.
It's not bad, but there's better ones out there, Yeah.
All right. That's Manhunt. I saw Missing. This is the new one from Nicholas D. Johnson and Will Merrick. It's the Screen Life one. I did see this in the theater, and I saw Searching in the theater too. So this is sort of a kind of a sequel to Searching, and it involves a young woman who her mom and her soon to be stepdad, I guess at the time just her mom's boyfriend, they go off on a vacation together, and they suddenly go missing. And so the whole movie is just the daughter using the internet, using her computer to figure out like what happened. There's all kinds of twists and turns, secrets, truths, all this stuff that get revealed. And it's super fun. I think that this one is actually better than Searching. And I think that this also may be my favorite implementation of the whole Screen Life format. Yeah. There's some really cool stuff that they do in this one. So like, as far as the thing is, like, there's not that many movies that have this style. So I feel like it's not completely worn out yet. Like when found footage came back after Paranormal Activity, and like just the whole market got flooded with found footage. It just wore out its welcome. With the Screen Life thing, there are very few movies that do it, and they're always spaced out, by at least a year or two. So yeah, I think that this one does it in a really interesting way. I love where it goes. Like, I didn't I didn't see it coming. Like I said, lots of twists, and I thought it was really cool where it went. So yeah, I definitely recommend Missing. I don't think you need to see it in the theater, but I think that once it hits like VOD, it's definitely worth a look. Really good implementation of screen life too. Like they do stuff that I haven't seen before, and it's just very clever.
Interesting.
I think you'd like it. I think you would.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out. One that I was trying for a long time not to check out because I just had a feeling that I wasn't gonna like it. That's The Worst Person in the World. I finally checked it out and I didn't like it.
Oh.
I was surprised though that this movie was a little bit more whimsical than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a pleasant surprise. But just I don't know. I just found so much of it just kind of grating and irritating, and I did not have a good time. Did not have a good time when I was watching this bad boy.
I remember it being a lot heavier than I expected.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird juxtaposition as how heavy it gets and then how whimsical it is at time. Because like the heavy stuff that I kind of expect from him as a director, the whimsy was kind of surprising. It was like, oh, I don't remember him really doing that. So that was a nice change of pace, but I don't know. I just the whole story and the characters and everything, it felt really contrived. Just not. It just felt like two dudes writing a woman character that should not be writing a woman character, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. I remember liking this, but I don't remember any like specifics as to why I liked it.
She like there's nothing to her. And then like her big thing is she writes an article about how she likes to be face fucked. And it's like, okay, that's what? But like she has no life outside of her two boyfriends, really.
Guess that's
I don't know. Just I found it irritating.
Guess that's what makes her the worst person in the world, right?
I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. I checked out after a while. It's just like, all right, well, I'll just make it till the end.
Here's one that surprised me that I saw. Megan. Megan.
Oh, yeah.
The Gerard Johnstone one about the AI doll thing.
So what is this? Because it creeps me out.
Yeah. It's a creepy doll movie, sort of. More like a creepy like AI. Basically, it's like the Chucky reboot. It's kind of the same concept there, where it's like it's a robot. I was kind of surprised with this. It is exactly what you would expect. So like all the kind of rogue AI cliches are here. And it doesn't really deviate too much from the kind of standard formula that we've seen. But there's some pretty fun moments in this. I liked what they did with like the actual doll itself. It was a girl. A girl plays Megan, and she just has this like animatronic mask thing. So it really kind of enters that uncanny valley territory.
Yeah. I think that was the main thing I wanted to know about. About this. Good.
It's very creepy. It's really creepy. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was. I wouldn't call it groundbreaking or anything like that. I mean, if you've seen like Westworld or really any kind of movie about like robots that go crazy and want to kill people, I mean, there's a little bit more with this one in that like how she perceives like she's like just trying to protect her owner, her friend. But at the end of the day, it's pretty standard. Still pretty entertaining though. I kind of liked where it went. Got a little bonkers.
Good. It's that movie has to go bonkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the director is the guy who did Housebound, which was I think that was a New Zealand horror comedy that was
Oh shit!
I loved Housebound. So
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my god, I forgot all about that movie.
same guy did that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, light recommend for Megan.
Yeah, good to know. That's all I have.
Okay, that's all I have too. One other quick one that I'll mention is In Search of Darkness Part 3. I noticed that this was on Shudder. I didn't realize that it was on Shudder. I knew that it was like coming out soon. This is, if you're not familiar, David Weiner made this series of documentaries on 80s horror, and it is like the most comprehensive documentary series on 80s horror you will ever see. This is the final one, and it's 342 minutes long. So it's like 5.5 hours long. And this is part 3. And I think in a lot of ways, part 3 was maybe the most fun, because there were some movies in this that I never even heard of. Like they go really obscure with this one. And so if you're a fan of 80s horror and you haven't seen In Search of Darkness, definitely check it out. All 3 of them are like 4+ hours long, and I think this is the longest one of the bunch. But man, it's awesome. It's such a fun series. It's messy as hell though, man. This one even more so than the others, so they mostly go year by year. So like they'll do 1980 and then cover all the movies that came out in 1980. But then they'll like intersperse it with other topics like the shot on video boom and like different trends in horror and stuff that came up in the 90s or the 80s. But there was like really they just kind of threw them in there, and then like sometimes they would do like 2 different topics and then get back to the years. So it's just a little bit all over the place. Not a big deal. It's really just the kind of the interviews and the information and the clips and all that stuff that you're checking this out for. So yeah, In Search of Darkness Part 3. Also, he's working on a 90s one right now. So I'm very, very excited for that.
Good Lord.
The 90s one, I think it's going to cover 1990 to 1994. Whereas with this, the 80s series, each one went through the whole decade, and then they just covered different movies for the sequel, like each part.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I know he's working on a sci-fi one too, like an 80s. I don't know if it's just an 80s sci-fi one.
Good Lord. This guy's got a lot of time.
Oh, maybe the sci-fi one. I think actually the sci-fi one might be out. Or I see that a lot of people reviewed it on Letterboxd. I wasn't aware that it was out though. That one's 301 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
I love them though. Like if you're looking to just like, if you're doing some work on the computer or something, or like just, cleaning up, it's like the perfect movie to just put on and do other stuff.
Yeah. It's like a podcast in movie form.
Exactly. It's awesome.
Some visual examples.
And I did find, this part 3, I did find a few titles that I'm interested in.
There you go. Did its job.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. Magic Mike's Last Dance is the big one. This is going to be the final in the trilogy.
Who would have thought?
Not me. I don't think I even saw the second one.
When that first Magic Mike came out, do you ever think to yourself, this is going to be a franchise trilogy?
Nope. And I think there was something I saw where it was like, I think I think I was at the theater, and like, how they do like the little pre-show thing, and I think whoever that was presenting it said something about something to the same effect, like, who would have thought it would be a trilogy?
Unbelievable.
I mean, it doesn't look good. I'm not interested in it, but there it is. We also have Seriously Red coming out, which is surprising to me that that's in theaters, but it is.
What is that?
It's like I think it's a comedy about a Dolly Parton impersonator.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. On VOD this week, starting with the 7th, we have The Last Deal. We got Mixtape Trilogy, Stories of the Power of Music, which is it's a music documentary, but it just seems like the most generic thing. Like, it's like, I'm wondering why something like this exists. It's with the Indigo Girls and Talib Kweli. I don't really get it, but I don't know. We also have The Wedding Hustler. That's a rom-com. We got They Wait in the Dark, The Fear Way, and then on the 9th, we have Attachment on Shudder. I'm interested in that one. On the 10th, we have Your Place or Mine on Netflix. We got 10 Days of a Good Man on Netflix. We have one called Disquiet with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Looks like maybe an action thriller of some kind. We got Sweetheart. It's a comedy. We got Seriously Red. Somebody I Used to Know, which is going to be on Amazon Prime. That's the new one from Dave Franco. It's his sophomore feature. Yeah, it's with Alison Brie. Seems like a kind of a romance drama, maybe.
Okay.
We got Among the Beasts. Meet Me in Paris. That's going to be on Roku. So,
Roku.
Yeah, there you go. And The Way Out. And on Blu-ray, we have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We got The Return of Swamp Thing coming out in 4K. That's the 1989 one. Warm Bodies from 2013. I really didn't like that movie. Man. Ooh. Did not like that one. The Vagrant from 1992. I literally just talked about that movie. That Man Bolt from 1973. If I Were King from 1938. Marco Polo from 1962. Pinocchio 964 from 1991. Now, we covered this on Saved by the 90s a couple of years ago for the Halloween episode. We did 90s Japanese horror. And that was one we watched, and boy, that one's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That one is not an enjoyable watch. That was like back when like Tetsuo the Iron Man and all those were coming out, and like shit was just wild. Like Japanese horror back then was just wild. Like the guinea pig movies.
It was out of control.
Yeah. They were just pushing all the boundaries, man. .com for Murder from 2002. That's coming out on Arrow. I want to see that too. Don't Deliver Us from Evil from 1971.
Don't
I like
do
that.
it.
Don't. Hey, if I wanted you to deliver us from evil, I would have told you. Let's see. Spoiler alert from last year. Baby Oopsie 2 Murder Dolls.
I'm sorry?
Baby Oopsie 2 Murder Dolls. Now, initially I was like, kind of, that title piqued my interest, and then I saw that it was 2022 and instantly lost interest.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's on Tubi.
Oh, God.
Baby Oopsie Murder Dolls Chapter 1 on Tubi.
Oh, okay. So you can get caught up on Tubi, and then the new one drops Tuesday. Got it.
Yeah.
We got Julia from 1974. Joe Pickett. Oh, no, wait, that's a TV show. I've never even heard of that. Joe Pickett. Night Feeder from 1988. That's pretty much it. What about Criterion's?
Oh, we got one. We got a box set, and that's 3 colors from Kozlowski. We got blue, white, red. Getting that new 4K.
Hell yeah.
Get that 4K UHD.
Hell yeah. Brilliant. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet and @filmpulsekevin. And if you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. That'd be great. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.